This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, a mysterious transfer student joins the team. And a special guest, Tifa! Welcome!
Hello.
We ruin Pokemon. I'm just imagining two Nurse Joys battling. From Pokemon.
Rap battling.
Rap battling.
Yeah, Nurse Joy's rap battling would be a good...
Man, like Pokemon, make this happen, Game Freak. We need this. And we talk about a controversial isekai series.
Live the life that we wish we had.
Forgo your responsibilities. Be a neat.
Yeah, those extracurricular activities.
No life!
It's over 9,000!
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
Konnichiwa and welcome. You're tuned in to Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive in the world of anime and manga whenever we feel like it, because our schedule's been pot lately, hasn't it?
What's the schedule, honestly?
I'm Kyle, and joining me are my co-host Aaron and a special guest, Tifa. Welcome!
Hello.
We've been, I think it would be fair to say, across social media, being very polite and nice to one another over the past couple of weeks, because Aaron bumped into you at work, and now we're like, I wonder if we could get her onto the podcast and drag her down to our level.
Welcome to hell.
No. But Tifa, give us a little bit of background about yourself, because you're pretty active in both the gaming and the anime areas of the world.
Yeah, I tend to do a lot of things and just, I do a lot of things. So I am a YouTuber who makes otaku-related content, and I am also a Twitch streamer who mainly games, I don't know, kind of cutesy stuff, cozy things, and like Genshin Impact as well. But the
Animal
thing
Crossing.
is, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, anything with a cute anime face, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So.
And I'm a cosplayer as well, so
Yeah, you got an epic cosplay of Kaguya-sama from Love is War.
yes.
Like, dude, you nailed that.
Thank you.
But as we love to say whenever we introduce someone on the new to the podcast, enough about you. On to the No. So this episode, we're talking about a series that is now almost a decade old. It's an isekai. It's been produced by Madhouse. It's oversaturated Technicolor eye candy. And it's still waiting for season 2. Yeah, we're talking No Game, No Life this episode, which, Tiff, is one of your favourites, of course, as well.
It is, yes, it is.
And I know we've got a few people on the Discord who are big fans of this as well. I think Lynx was. So if you are new to the podcast, hi, welcome. This is a very different episode start, so go figure. We have those monthly anime videos and interviews on our YouTube channel you might want to check out as well. And there's a Patreon with extra content too. So links in the episode description. But let's get stuck in first off with what we've actually been watching.
I have no idea how old I am or where I came from.
Nani? Ohio!
Hang time! I gotta go!
I have to know! Hooray! I did the thing!
Oni-chan, nani wo miru?
What we're watching.
I love that, Aaron.
It's just too perfect. You have to take the cutesy things and then make them into the most overly masculine things, and it's just it's the peanut butter and jam.
Jelly?
Jelly if you're American.
Yeah. I've always wondered about that, because when I heard peanut butter and jelly the first time, I was like, is jelly jam or is there something different?
Well, okay, so jelly is a more preservative-based jam. It's like super artificial. It's no offense to American listeners, but it's nasty. Like especially like the jars of pre-mixed peanut butter and jelly. Like,
we've got to talk to our mate Dry Guy about that. Actually, I had his So he's moved over from the States, and I tell you what, he made cornbread when I was around a couple of weeks ago.
his cornbread's incredible.
Holy cow. Like, you have cornbred in a restaurant here in Perth, you're like, it's all right. Yeah, this is Mum's recipe from back in the day, passed down.
It's soul food. You feel the soul in the food.
Yeah, I literally felt like I'd reincarnated after I went to his house. But what we're watching, we should probably talk about on the note of reincarnating and feeling healthier. Aaron, you've been watching Healer Girl.
Yes, Healer Girl. Wow, it's so good. And I don't even know where to start with it. Basically, it's these 3 girls that have begun their journey as healers. And in this world, healers perform singing to heal you emotionally and a little bit physically, but there's still like surgeons and doctors and pharmaceuticals around. And so part of their studies as these healer girls is they have to learn the pharmaceuticals, they have to learn singing, they have to learn how the song works, they have to learn how to properly transition, they have to learn all the different singing terms as well so that they can join in with other singers and incorporate all of that. So there's a lot of like, if you want to learn about singing, it's really good for that. But the songs in it are so beautiful. Like, just listening to them gives you the warm fuzzies.
So is it sort of a little bit like I guess a Love Live-esque
Yes,
sort of vibe to it?
Oh, okay.
It's very Idolish in the sense that it's not Billy, but it's Idolish.
Yeah. You're the bad guy here now, aren't you?
Yes. But yeah, they sing multiple times an episode, and the songs are all based on like what the person needs or like what the girls are currently experiencing. Like, I think the recent episode they were competing against a different, what would you even call it? Like a healer center's apprentice.
I don't know why, but I'm just imagining like two Nurse Joys battling, like from Pokemon. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Rap battling.
Rap battling.
Legit?
No, not raps, but like they're genuine like sonnet songs. Like they're all deep and meaningful and sweet and very heavy on the voice. But yeah, Nurse Joy's rap battling would be a good.
Man, like Pokemon, make this happen, Game Freak. We need this.
But yeah, they were competing in like a sports thing, so traditional sports episode that you have in most anime.
Yeah.
But it's cute seeing the rivalries between them. Because it's like obviously rival healing center, so you want to be like, yeah, we're using each other to sort of like build our skills up as like a sort of So it's really cute.
Also, I don't think you haven't watched it, Tifa, have you?
I haven't,
Neither have
no.
I. I also got completely confused because there's 2 healer animes this season.
Yeah,
I
there
thought you were
is.
actually talking about "Don't Hurt Me, Please, My Healer," which apparently is hilarious.
Yes.
No, I remember when we were talking about this pre-episode, and you're like, "Oh my god, yes!" And I was like, "I think he's misinterpreted. This is the wrong anime."
Yes, I have.
Because this is not funny. This is just like cute, sweet girls having a genuinely good time and having that sisterly bond together.
Yeah, that's not what I was imagining. I was imagining the healer who's sassy. The dark elf is just like, I'm not healing you. Walk it off.
No, this is
very different.
just sweet, wholesome, genuinely heartwarming.
Now, this is Studio 3 Hertz. I believe it's on Crunchyroll. Like, you can actually watch it through My Anime List, but Studio 3 Hertz did Dimension W, Devil is a Part-Timer, second season, Flip Flappers, Black Fox, Sword Art Online Alternative, and Gun Gale. Like, they've done a lot over the years, and they're one of those sort of names that you kind of... They're a smaller studio, and they just kind of occasionally pop up and do something. They also did Rifle is Beautiful. That came out at a very bad time. But look, you can catch that on Crunchyroll at the moment. I think we're up to 3 episodes now.
I think 3, yeah.
3 or 4?
Maybe 4.
Let's have a look in the
I usually
comments
watch
section.
whenever I get into work. I'm like, cool.
Episode 4 just landed this week.
Okay,
So there you go. Righty. Now, we should move on to something that's on a rival platform on Netflix, because this one we actually missed when
Yes.
we were doing previews last year. And this is a Netflix series based off a manga called Kotaro Lives Alone. And Tiffy, you've been watching this.
Yes, I have, and it is very wholesome as well. So I guess it's kind of weird to say this, but do you guys know I think it's like My House Husband or something like
Yes.
that on
Yeah.
Netflix?
Way of the House Husband?
Yeah, The Way of the House Husband. So this is kind of what I wished that was animation wise as well. So it's
yeah.
like Kotaro Lives Alone isn't like that spectacular animation wise, but it's enough that, you feel really emotional and invested in it. But basically, it is about this toddler who lives alone, Kotaro. He lives completely alone. He's lost his parents. He doesn't have any siblings. He has rented out an apartment. So he's rented out this room, and even though the apartment complex says no children, the landlord said it was okay if he could pay for his
This
rent.
is like a shonen origin story right here. Like,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
somehow he can do it. And, all the other people that live in the complex find out that this kid is living by himself.
Yeah.
So they try to help him the best way possible and look out for him. Even though Kotaro wants to do everything by himself, he wants to prove that he can do it. He's just a kid,
Yeah.
and he wants to try and be brave, and he doesn't want to be like, oh, I like actually need my mum and dad right now, but I don't have them. So all these people try to look out for him, and it's just so sweet and adorable. And he also kind of speaks in a kind of older style Japanese way because of a TV series that he watches in the show, which is about like that like royalty and like samurais and things like that. So he speaks in that way to try and make himself seem older and more sophisticated, but he's like 3 years old. And then the guy that lives next door to him who draws manga, he's like, are you okay, dude? Like, you don't need to talk like that. You're a kid. Like, you can chill. But yeah.
Is there a Yakuza in this building?
There is.
I've just seen the picture from it. I'm like, that is a full purple leopard print head to toe suit.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Yeah.
That's a
that
fashion
looks-
crime.
Man, that's
I love that guy
That's
though.
great.
He has a kid, but his kid rejects his affection. So he tries to spoil Kotaro with like the gifts that his kid won't accept as well. Like he tries to give them to Kotaro, and Kotaro's like, I only want things if it's meant for me. I don't want your leftovers. Like I don't want the things that you won't
Damn.
that your kid won't
Bold
accept.
kid.
He's like, I would be happy to accept this gift because I love this character, but it's not meant for me. So, you know.
Wow. There's like some real adult energy.
Yeah.
on it here, yeah. Now, this was based on a manga which has been running since 2015. It's a seinen manga. And I love this because my anime list have decided the genre list is getting so big
Yeah.
that it now needs to be separated from genres and themes.
Oh.
So the genre is comedy, drama, slice of life.
Yeah.
The theme is childcare.
That's
This
interesting.
seems like they're not looking after the child.
Yeah, this is more child
so-
neglect.
Sometimes I think the child looks after them a little better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
especially in
thi-
anime.
This is on an 8.38 on my anime list.
Dang.
It's only got 32,000 users reviewing it, but admittedly, we do find that some of these more ONA, the original net animations for Netflix, are lesser viewed, and they gradually have people come onto it later. Like,
Yeah.
prime example, Godzilla Singular Point.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful series. I love it so much. And I did a big video on it and didn't get much traction for the first couple of months. And the last month, it's gone up like
Yeah.
4,000 because people have only just discovered
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that's one of the problems when you've got such a vast catalogue to look through.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe they went, oh, we tenure for this is coming to an end. We should get as many views out of it, push it up in the algorithm, and now people will come watch it on Netflix, and then I win.
Well, didn't they only recently add Godzilla vs. Kong to Netflix?
Yeah.
So that may contribute to it as well.
That is true.
That's a good point.
true.
That is. Apparently, the next one is going to be Baby Kong.
Baby Kong!
Yeah, so I don't
Donkey
know.
Kong Jr.
Son of Kong. So yeah, it's all going to be. Apparently, that's the information we have, but it's not official yet. So who knows? But this back to Kotaro. We love our tangents on this show. This is being produced by Lydon Films. They have done so much. Like I keep forgetting how much they've done. They were Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah.
They did the original Berserk run, Arslan Senki, Terraformers, Cells at Work Black. Like this is just a few, and there's over 60 on this list here. There's a lot to go through. I'm done. I'm going back. It's too far. Gone too far. Too deep into the rabbit hole. Yes, but now we'll stick with the comfy theme because, unsurprising to any of our regular listeners, I'm talking about a romance anime.
Oh, wow. Who
Oh,
could have seen this coming?
Who would have seen it coming? Can you guess out of the 3 this season?
There's 3 this season.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
There's-
Love After World Domination.
No, we talked about that last week, so I can't do it again this week. And it's not Kaguya-sama because we'll wait for Kenny to be have rid of his spicy cough to talk about that because he loves it as well. So we'll get you in. Well, I think we should do. Have we done a Kaguya Love Is War episode?
You tell me.
I don't think we have.
It was on a thumbnail for your Valentine's Day one.
Oh, I recommended it.
Yeah.
I recommended
But I
it.
don't
for
think
He
you talked
recommends
about
it like every
really.
chance he gets.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
it's amazing.
You should.
How's that manga going for you, by the way?
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Did you read 361?
Okay, wait. So I'm not up to date, but I actually saw a spoiler on Wiki when I was doing my photos and I was editing stuff, and then I wanted to try and find a really nice caption, like a nice quote, and then I saw a spoiler and I was like, what?
Oh. How far in are you?
Um,
Big tangent. Kaguya-sama Love Is War always takes precedent on this podcast.
I think I'm only like 10 or 20 chapters away from
Yeah.
being up to date.
No, I
so-
read. So 361 launched, I think, midweek, and I only read it last night. And
Okay.
we're in the end game.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
That's mwah, oh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of end games happening right now. Like My Hero is getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So's Rent a Girlfriend, but don't read it.
Yeah.
Rent it.
No, don't read Rent a Girlfriend. It could have been finished 70 chapters ago, and it is being milked and milked. And we thought, oh, there's finally been some development. And then literally the most recent chapter, 3 months have passed since then. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. I don't care how close to the end we are. I'm done.
Oh, you mean like what they did with Horimiya?
No, Horimiya...
Was it Horimiya we were talking about, where it had the
Horimiya-
nuclear winter?
Horimiya, the winter part of their last year of school lasted for longer than the rest of the series did combined. So everyone referred to it as the nuclear winter because no real character development happened.
Yeah.
And when they adapted it for the manga, for the anime, they cut it. And it made the story
that's
so
good.
much smoother, more focused, and more development based, and it worked so well because of it. But yeah, Komi can't communicate. Let's actually talk about that. New season is out. It is on Netflix. It's airing week to week. We are 2 to 3 weeks behind the Japanese release, I believe. The fan subbers have beat Netflix to the subbing, so that's embarrassing.
It's not surprising,
It's
though.
not. But second season, same as the first. It's amazing. And every episode is well balanced, and they pick, because the stories can be quite short in the manga.
Yeah.
And they pick a lot of ones that work really well to drive the story forward without wasting too much time. So they have dropped some, and I do recommend reading the manga highly. It's fantastic. And watching my video explaining where the puns are in the character names. But it's definitely something that if you like a good, well-paced romance, which is heading towards romance, watch it. Because it's beautiful. It's so nice seeing Komi starting to learn how to communicate. It's so nice seeing Tadano actually start to value himself and those around them, realizing that she is just a normal girl, a very nice normal girl, but she's not this ice queen that the initial impression everyone has. And then we get like her polar opposite, who's but basically the new season opens with a guy who can't communicate either. He's not a romantic interest or anything like that. He's hilarious, and there's a little bit of yaoi tension between him and
I love that.
Tadano. Yeah.
Oh, no. Love triangle.
No, that's season 4. No, but look, it's just as I said with the first one of my most cherished series. Watch it. It's worth it. It will make you smile. It will make you laugh, and regularly they break the fourth wall just for the laughter, and it's worth it. But yeah, Netflix have actually done a really good job at handling it, and OLM I can always trust, so go figure. Now, if you have been watching something unusual this fortnight or want to share, let us know in the comments section if you're on YouTube or over on the social media post on our socials. Go figure.
Yeah.
But
Do it.
Do it. Make your dreams come true. Become a social champion.
The only way you'll make your mark on history is by making a mark somewhere. So go out there, write the stupid comment, and make people laugh.
Go beyond plus ultra.
Kawaii-Fi. I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back Catalogue.
Alrighty. I didn't watch this as a kid because I'm an old man. But this back catalogue, we are going to be looking at No Game, No Life. Or as the Japanese like to call it, No Gemu, No Raifu. And yes, that is the legit title. They chose the English and translated it and used the katakana for it and everything. So Aaron is just shaking his head so much.
If you want my opinion, go jump on the Patreon.
The disappointment is real, apparently. Now, this came out all the way back in spring 2014, so that'd be Q2 2014. It's by Madhouse, PG-13, and on Mal, it's currently rated 8.11. It's in the top 500 anime of all time. So it's pretty good thing to hear.
That's bragging rights.
That's bragging rights. It's bragging rights. Now, there is a film which is a prequel, I believe.
It is a prequel, yes.
No Game, No Life 0, which came out in 2017. Comedy, fantasy, eki, isekai, originally from a light novel series. Surprised the title's not longer considering it's from a light novel series. Has a manga as well. Now, this was your call.
Yeah, we
I
sprung
feel
this
like I'm
on you
gonna
at
get
like
bullied
10
for
a.m.
this.
You're not. You're not. But so.
I would bully me
So
for this.
no, look. I mean, it's still in the top 500. I can let you know that when Anime News Network reviewed it, out of the 4 people who were reviewing it, only one of them liked it. I can let you know that Kotaku slapped it down pretty hard because of its fan service.
Yeah,
But it's
understandable.
still huge.
It is, yeah. It's got a cult following, which is really kind of surprising in a way.
Yeah, but not necessarily in a bad way. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, look, let's be honest. Sword Art Online is a juggernaut, and it has some serious problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
10 years of Sword Art, and some of the stuff from the beginning is not okay today. You wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
But this is the same sort of thing. Back at the time, it was kind of a bit normal.
Yeah.
So, look, tell us what No Game No Life's about.
So, No Game No Life is about 2 siblings, but they're not really siblings. Of course, they're step siblings.
Oh, of course, of course. Yep.
Oh, insert the memes.
And they are NEETs, which means they don't go to school. They're not in education or training or anything like that. So they stay at home and they play video games all the time, and they are surprisingly good at it, and they become a really good duo at all these video games. So eventually they end up with a message from an unknown person, and they get asked about these games they play, and what if they went to a world where everything was based off of gameplay? They decide to go ahead with this game and end up in this whole new world where basically everything is to do with gambling and games, and that's how you kind of get around in the world and find your position, get food, get anything really. You can play different games and you can set the games. There are certain rules, but other than that, it's pretty much a free-for-all.
I'm really glad I got you to explain it because I've got like a page synopsis here. I can't find a shorter synopsis.
I tried to cut out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So
That's-
the
yeah.
only thing... So there's Disboard,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
Discord.
And that board.
Yeah, and the board over there. It's a world overseen by Tet, who's the one true god, and I'm guessing
Yes.
Tet's the one who sends them
Yes.
the message and then isekais them away. Now, this is by Madhouse,
Yes.
and Madhouse are mad lads. I love their art style. So
Very
this
cool.
is super saturated colors, strong reds, purple tones, those fluorescent blues, like the stuff you expect when you watch a Madhouse.
If you want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! But on LSD.
Yeah, you go to Madhouse. Yeah. This is a series I kind of didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't actually get a chance to watch it today because I was so busy.
Dude, you've been under the pump.
Oh, I have. But after today, more work.
I was going to say, what do you mean after today? You're screwed.
I am stuffed. But I did read through the synopsis and I've looked at some of the reviews and obviously know a little bit about it because of watching it in passing 8 years ago. I caught the first 2 episodes when it was airing.
Okay, I think I caught like the first 3 episodes like 2 or 3 years ago. So
Did you just kind of go, it's not for me, or did it?
I was watching it with someone and then we just didn't hang out anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, those vibes are real.
Yeah.
Well, onto a positive note, I watched it on my own and then I just forgot about it. So it's on the massive back catalogue. This is the problem as well. Like, there's so much good anime out now.
Yeah, there is, actually.
Every season.
If you are not an adult, please take every chance you can to go watch
I
as much as you
know.
can, play as many games as you can, live the life that we wish we had.
Forgo your responsibilities. Be a neat.
Yeah, those extracurricular activities.
No life.
Yes.
Now, in all seriousness, don't do that. Actually, be good. Now, here's the thing: critics don't love No Game No Life.
No, they don't.
But fans do, and that's all that matters.
That's
and
true.
we've seen that many times in recent years, where the critics have been like, "This is a terrible movie," and it destroys the box office.
Oh yeah, what was
That's
that big case of it recently? There was one movie I remember in particular, and like the critics were like, "No, this won't make it," and all the fans were like, "Yes."
Sonic?
I mean, look,
Originally, people were like, why?
just
why?
based on how many times me and Aaron have been to Sonic.
I went and watched it last night.
Yeah.
Well, you're
love
Sonic
that.
too. Yeah.
So we also saw it like soon after release.
So we saw it
Yeah.
soon after release, and then went again the next night
Yeah.
together.
with different friends. But like just both me and Aaron were the only connection. We were like, Yeah, no, we haven't seen this at all. So
No.
they're getting hyped for the big scenes.
That first time we watched it, we were holding hands with
Yeah.
our friend Dry Guy, and we're like,
We're all massive Sonic nerds. Like, you can't help it. It's the good stuff.
yeah,
It's super. Yeah, I don't know.
you're gonna catch these knuckles.
Oh, I'm gonna whip your tails. No, okay. Tifa's like, what have I got myself into today? Now, here's the thing. Like, No Game No Life is popular for a very good reason, and that's because, like many isekais, it takes on board the idea of a power fantasy. Now, even though you know the guys aren't going to win. Not guys, the brother and sister duo. You know they're not going to win. You know Sora and Shira are going to win every outcome. But my understanding is the real nuts and bolts of the thing, the things that make you want to keep watching, is how on earth they pull it off.
Yeah.
How they turn the tables.
Yeah. So I know there's this almost every episode has a game in it, doesn't it?
Yes,
That they have
yeah,
to do.
yeah.
What's the first game that they do, if you can remember off the top of your head?
I think it is
The first
Paper,
big
Scissors,
game or
Rock?
the small game?
I still think that's the first big game.
I thought their first big one
Paper,
was
Scissors,
chess.
Rock with Stephanie.
Oh,
Because that is
princess,
how,
yeah.
yes, because that is how they actually get into the world, and that's how they, well, not get into the world, but that's how they get into kind of society, is playing rock, paper, scissors with Stephanie, and that's how they get her castle and they become king and queen. And that's how it basically starts, is a game of rock, paper, scissors. That's how they gain their position in this new world. But yes, chess is probably the first biggest one with a rival or a bad guy, I guess.
Well, I felt like that one was a lot more showy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go up against a few gods after her, don't they?
Kind of,
Or
well, like
pseudo-gods?
different species in the world of No Game, No Life, because you have like the elves and all that kind of stuff.
Are there
as
dwarves?
well. I can't remember if there's dwarves. They have so they have like different names for them. So there's like flugels, which are kind of like elf angel things, but that in German means wings, which is why they all have wings. So they have like different names taken from different like countries and languages. So it's kind of hard to remember them.
That makes it fun though. Like
Yeah, it
taking
does,
a
it
traditional
does.
thing and putting your own
Yeah.
twist on it.
I'm just going through the list of characters here. Minister of Agriculture. Minister of Economy. Like, they don't
they
have
don't have
names.
names.
High Official. I'm getting Former King. The former
Former
king
king.
does not actually have a name.
No, it's just Stephanie's dad.
Really? There's
I
a
don't know if
character
it's
here
his
who's just
dad,
robber.
but-
He does look like he's trying to rob people, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is
Sorry,
that
it's
his
been
only
so
role?
long since. Yeah. It's kind of fun, like reading through it and remembering things. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Like, what was the other one? We don't really talk about it on the show because it's quite mature. Goblin Slayer. So obviously, if
yeah.
you are underage, don't watch Goblin Slayer. It is not for the faint of heart. And if you've had any, let's just say if you had any trauma, do not watch.
Can I just quickly lump Skeleton Knight in with that?
Yeah.
Because
Same, exactly the same.
it's
thing.
watered down, but it's still very
confronting.
yes.
Yeah. But in that, he has, the creator didn't name any of the characters. He named them on their class or their trait. So Goblin Slayer or the Archer and so on. And apparently it's because he named them all after the characters in his D&D game. And he didn't want to
love
give the other
that.
character name, the actual character names of his friends, because that's a copyright infringement.
Yeah.
I love how Japan like refused to do copyright for almost
don't
100
even
years.
start.
And then someone, tell me about it.
Jojo.
And then went way over the top.
Yeah.
Like it's like we've just went all the way to the other side of the seesaw. But same sort of thing here by the looks of it. It does look like, so I'm assuming all the villains end up getting like names of some form or another.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, except for Robber. He's just it's just like,
He's not in it for very long.
He loses
just
pretty
the robber.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
But there are characters that do have names in them. So basically, the key characters from the different species that they end up communicating with will have names. But it's more because Sora and Shiro don't care enough to learn the names of every single person.
That checks out.
That checks
Yeah.
out, yeah. I mean, Sora in particular is like apathetic to everything,
Yeah.
isn't he? Yeah. I love this, the reception. Critics don't love it. Fans do. That's all that matters. Their main criticisms are there are a lot of tropes throughout, and you know what the leads... You know that the leads will always win. Also, there are elements of the power fantasy self-insert, which isekai series, tend to feature anyway, which is a general rule. There's unnecessary fan service throughout it, though we're kind of used to seeing a lot of criticism for that in recent years.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. I mean, do you guys remember Danmachi? Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Oh, yeah.
That got a lot of criticism for it, and it's just they've just kind of forgotten about it. But we've got to season 4 coming out now. And it's still going strong. It's still like up in the rankings as well.
Yeah.
I think if it's a case where that it doesn't impact the story. So if it's not like, Aaron knows me quite well on this. Like, if it fits the story and the vibe, sure,
Yeah.
I'll go with it. Like, High School of the Dead, fine, whatever. But when we were watching Maruko-chan.
Yes.
We found it really hard because it was, it's comedy horror.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to add
The ecchi stuff
doesn't
to
really
it.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they got rid of it after about episode 5, and the story was phenomenal. And that was when I tuned back in. My partner decided to sit down and just watch it. And she's like, I've heard it's good. I'm going to see if it is.
Can we get like a master cut of it without the ecchi?
I mean,
Can we just like snip those bits out?
I could try and rip. I'd have to screen grab the entire thing and then chop it up, but
Not doing
which
anything
is
illegal.
Not illegal at all, and I'm not going to do before anyone asks.
Wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, yo ho ho.
Yar.
But do you guys find for this that it pulls you out of the moment, or is it just kind of fit with the story?
So firstly, I just want to say that No Game No Life is actually banned in Australia. So you
Oh.
can watch the anime. So the anime was featured here for a certain amount of time, but the light novels and the manga are no
Yeah.
longer available here, even though I think that the figures that they sell are a lot worse than anything that you'll ever see in any of the
Yeah.
things. So I thought that was a interesting controversy in relation to No Game No Life. But I think that
Didn't it just kind of get swept up in that big
yeah,
wave
so
where they just
did
went from
a
it?
particular chapter of Sword Art Online as well, which
Yeah.
was quite interesting because it wasn't like the whole thing; it was just one particular arc that they.
And also there was one like it's a similar sort of vein with the ecchi content, but it was like a guy who's a mangaka and the same sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I can't. The Aramanga Sensei.
Aramanga Sensei.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These
Like
are
same
all
sort of-
things that I own.
FBI, open up.
Australian Border Force. We have an issue on it. No,
We got her.
Like ironically, this was all sold at your local like bookstore as
I
well. Like if you
know.
went into Dimmicks, you could go
Yeah.
and buy it. So it was quite strange that all of a sudden it was just all taken away.
All this happened because just one politician took issue with
Yeah.
it and literally went, "This is my hill to die on," and he pushed it through.
Yeah.
And
Time for him to die.
he's no longer in politics.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get rid of it.
Unfortunately, it's too
It
late.
still stands.
Yeah. But I don't think they ever like release censored versions of it or anything. But that explains why I haven't seen so much of it, because I didn't realize it's got swept up in that wave of like bans and all that. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's surprising to see these shows, and I mean that might also explain potentially why we haven't had a proper sequel, why we've just had that prequel film, because they know that their market may be limited if it is, well, if the series gets even more heavier in that content afterwards, even though it's nowhere, as you've mentioned, it's nowhere near as confronting as some of the figures that you can buy on shelves at stores.
Yeah.
So
For sure. There was an issue with No Game No Life in tracing animation as well. So they actually had a copyright issue, which was like a whole other thing that obviously created a problem in Japan, which stopped them from creating a second season and continuing the manga for a short while as well. So whether or not that has been resolved, I'm not sure, but it kind of delayed everything, and then they probably thought it wasn't worth doing again. But
yeah, I do wonder. I mean, the question is, were they tracing a Sony product? Because if it was a Sony, because like we've mentioned this on the podcast many times before, because it's been the bane of our existence. But anything that Sony has a vested right in, as far as animation goes, they are litigious on it, way over the top.
Yeah.
Like, it's the level that Nintendo is with their sort of stuff
Yeah.
as well.
Oh goodness.
And it's not healthy for at least for the community to grow. But it also kind of does make sense as well. Like Japanese companies become very focused on looking after their brand and controlling it as well,
Mm.
which is a shame. I mean, like, I understand it, but
Yeah.
give me my stuff.
I know.
Grab your hands.
Yeah, exactly. I want to ask you about the world that they're going into, because I think, let me find my notes here. Humanity, is that humanities?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. And the main girl, who is Stephanie Dollar, is
Yes.
she the one with the sort of pink and purple hair we see in all the
Yes, she
fan
is.
art?
Yes. Yeah.
That makes
is
sense.
Stephanie.
Oh
wait,
does
not
she-
pink and purple. I think it's just like a reddy pink.
Reddy pink?
Because
Okay.
there is another one that has slightly more of a pink and purple, which is Gibril. So they,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
depends on your
everything,
color
yeah.
tone of pink and purple.
Do they do a JoJo with all the colors?
They do
where
JoJo. They do a
Oh.
lot of references as well to other anime and manga, which might also lead into the controversy of tracing. But
Yeah.
they do a lot of references as well.
Okay, so they do like the color shift that JoJo does frequently?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. Well, it's only for a particular scene. They actually do a specific JoJo's reference.
okay, yep.
So they do a few specific references, and characters are specifically referenced as well, because it's kind of like you're going into this fantasy, and for them it's like the fantasy of everything that they have ever loved, in a sense.
Yep,
you
so they
kind
can
of-
relate things to
Yeah,
other things that they
yeah.
love, and then that sort of connects it to us
Yeah.
as well.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
See, I mean, I get that as well.
It's
Like,
tricky.
what was it, Mr. Osamasu? I think it was. The first episode cannot be played outside of Japan because it infringes on hundreds of copyrights in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's the point of it. It was a gag in the manga where
The
Yeah.
most
like, you know,
ambitious
Yeah,
crossover event.
yeah, now it's banned.
Yeah.
Get your permissions in line, folks. But I mean, as we mentioned with JoJo, like obviously the names there were not done with copyright. Lupin the Third had the same issue. Lupin is based off a literary product from over 100 years ago, and now that period of things have expired, they don't care.
Yeah.
But that's why it was called Wolf for the first 4
Yeah.
dubs.
Yes. Yeah.
No Game No Life, I guess, kind of in that situation. All right, I think that's the fan art from the box, which I'm assuming that's the princess, the one with the pink hair and the purple and.
This is Gibril.
Oh, okay.
Gibril.
Yep.
Because she's Anyway,
Yep.
this is Shiro, this is Sora, and this is Stephanie. This is not actually her hair color in the series, which is why that confused me.
Yeah, no, I've just found the article about the comparisons because it was
Yes.
apparently this all happened over Twitter. So there was a guy called.
Is this going to be the manga comparison?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Why does everything go down on Twitter? Why is it that when people are throwing hands, it's always on Twitter?
Look, Elon Musk, I know you've just bought it, but you did joke about shutting it down. Shut it down. No.
See, I don't get it. He spent $44 billion on it, right? You can just download it for free.
Oh, God. I knew
I
you
feel
were
like
going to
that
do
joke
that.
is so old
so
now. I'm
dumb.
sorry.
No.
It's a classic.
Like, I don't-
that second one came through aggressive.
It is. I'm trying to find. Yeah. No. Is that enough? No.
No.
There's a man. I need to use these buttons more often. But yeah, the comparisons of the artist illustration, but it's not necessarily illustrations for the actual series by the looks of it. So that's kind of interesting that it panned out that way.
Yeah.
They've got one example which is there.
Yes, yeah. They had a couple of these different ones for, like, say, I guess illustration posters as well. That's kind of the main thing. I don't think people were as concerned about the anime because they would trace a pose and then they would move like for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Was that Hatsune Miku, by the way?
Yes, that
Yes,
was.
I
it
thought
was.
so.
There was also, I can't remember what series she's from, but it's a similar styled.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
battle boat one?
Oh, is that the battle boat?
Yeah, Kirilee's cosplayed, I think it's Kencol?
Oh, Kantai Collection. Yes, it is. You are right.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is, yeah.
Kirilee's cosplayed that exact costume.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, go figure. But yeah, there's a lot on here.
Yeah, there is.
And look, I get it, but don't.
Darn.
It's quite a controversial series, I feel, for a lot of different
Yeah.
reasons. There's a lot of different issues, whether it be the issues critics have, issues that they had with copyright, or just issues with some of the things that the mangaka released as well, and things like that.
What, as in
there's
like
a lot of
things they've said on Twitter and
no,
stuff like that?
no,
or-
it's like things to. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because it's kind of like 18 plus, but like so.
Well,
Censor it as best you can.
yeah.
Okay, so they released a it's a canon kind of like it's a fan art of their own work, and it's essentially
Of
a
one of the
hentai
characters.
piece. It's a
sorry,
hentai, like a doujinshi of particular characters who should not be in that setting.
situation.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
Okay.
Yeah. So that was very problematic, and people already had problems with the fan service, as we said before, within the series. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Controversial.
Why it kind of gets repeatedly controversial. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Now it makes a lot of sense why I don't
I'm
see it very
sorry that
often.
I chose this.
No need to apologize.
Look, as we said, it's your hill to die on, and you can defend it as much as you like. We will not judge. This is a judgment-free zone, unless what was the one? Unless you like, what was the really bad one that I subjected myself to?
Gibiate?
Gibiate. If you like
Oh.
Gibiate,
You're on your own there,
you're on
bud.
your own, man.
Like, there is no redemption for that. That and X-Arms, was it?
yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, an Arifureta.
An Arifureta.
Like
We've got a list.
Arifureta has an absolutely incredible opening theme, and it is wasted.
Oh no.
That's where we got one of our famous awards, the Cabbage of Shame.
Well, no, we've got we do an award every year, award series. We're gonna shorten it this year so it's not as intensive because it takes us like 2 weeks to prep it and get it all.
Also, it's really hard on you.
Yeah, because it was Christmas and I couldn't do anything
Oh,
with my family because
no.
I'd be too busy doing it. But every year we give out an award for the worst CG, and if you win it, the award is named after you.
I love that.
So it changes every year, yeah.
So we've got first it was the Arifureta Award for appalling CG. Then it was the Gibiate Award because that was so bad.
Oh, man, that was a mess.
Like I wanted it to be good too. It was like
Oh,
a bunch
no.
of artists who all got together and musicians. Like none of them had done animation before, and it was the story. Could
The
have been
concept was really
good.
cool. It was like a time-traveling ninja, samurai, and monk, and like they went to the future where there was a zombie apocalypse. Like, it sounds cool, but it
Just
wasn't.
didn't come together.
No.
It like the story's there. Like
Yeah.
the bones are good,
Yeah.
but oh god, the
kinda
janky
sad.
CG. It is. It's really sad.
Oh yeah, because the alien thing, and then like the fights were all framed like Power Ranger fights.
Oh
so
my
like
God.
they'd run off the screen to do action, and then they'd jump back.
Yeah.
So you could hear the action, but nothing
You could
happened.
hear like you could see the budget had
Oh, no.
clearly run out.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
that point, you're like, okay, yeah, I see what's happened here.
Like very rarely do you see the villains and like heroes interacting, and it's all off. Like most of it's
And
off
when
screen.
when you do, there's no weight to the impact.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was like go back. That'll be episode 50ish. We would have been talking about it, I think.
Okay.
I mean, we could just like tag you. Like you could go back in and go. It was episode 50.
It was. Well, actually, no, it wasn't the Anime Awards.
Just dub over
no,
it.
it was. It was in the Anime Awards.
Yeah, it was definitely there.
But then last time we gave it to X-Arm because. Ugh.
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 Yeah, if you want to know what animes to avoid, those are the tops of our list.
Okay.
Well, we're normally pretty.
We're
We're pretty compassionate.
we're pretty forgiving.
Like we've never said don't watch the Super Cub. We've just said that it's hilarious because it starts off and he goes, so what happened to the person who owned this bike? Some people died. No context at all. It's just some people died. On the bike? Is it been
Because
sold
of
to you
the
from an
bike?
estate? Some people died. Cool.
Thanks.
Backs away slowly. No. But yeah, look, I don't know where I was going with that actually.
We were talking about terrible anime.
Oh yeah. Well,
Not related to No Game No Life.
well, I was going to say. So,
I saw that face.
no. So, No Game No Life is controversial, but not terrible.
Yeah.
These are terrible and terrible. Don't
Yes.
watch them. But look, No Game No Life. As you said, can we actually watch the anime in Australia?
You can on High Dive.
High Dive.
Because
Because
it was-
Sentai Dub.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
taken away from Crunchyroll and it was taken away from Netflix, which both of them had it before, and now High Dive has it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did provide the dub, didn't Sentai?
Yes,
So
yeah.
we were. I talked about this in a video a couple of weeks ago when we had the whole like mass exodus of Sentai stuff. And one of the commentators actually in the comments pointed out a really good thing because Sentai, High Dive, and all of its affiliated companies are now under AMC, which is a new company, and that
Yes,
change happened
yes.
beginning of the year. So I think it is as much them going, nah, you can't have. We want to make profit from this company as much as it is Crunchyroll going,
Yeah.
we can't really have that on our subject. Yeah.
Well, Crunchyroll did cut a lot when they had the merger. They were like, oh.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
because especially like Funimation and stuff
Yeah.
are more family friendly. They even
Yeah.
censored some of the animes that Anime Lab had when it came over to Funimation.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and then they didn't bring others
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
there are some, because man, what a mess we've got in the streaming here. Like we had Anime Lab, which was localized, then Funimation bought a controlling stake and then bought it out completely.
yes, yeah.
And then they spent 3 years before they took it over, and then Sony clearly wanted full control. Turned into Funimation. No one was very happy about how that was
Yeah.
handled. And now, only 12 months after they've finished that whole changeover, and we were meant to have moved all of our watch lists over manually because there was no way to do it automatic, now we're going to have to do it again for Crunchyroll, potentially, if
Yay.
they don't figure out how to make that work. So it's like, no offense to Crunchyroll, like the Crunchyroll folks we've got here over in Melbourne are lovely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they've got a massive task on their hands.
For
and
sure.
I don't envy them. There's a lot to handle. But hey, they were still available to sponsor HoshiCon, so I was happy about that.
Thank you. Hoshikon was great.
and they gave us Jujutsu Kaisen 0 to watch and review
Oh,
ahead of time
yes.
too.
That was
Oh,
fun.
yes.
Their outreach team's
Yeah.
working really well. It's just
Yeah.
all the internal stuff I think comes from the States now. So
Yeah.
Hey, Crunchyroll, if you want us to review more stuff before it comes out,
yeah, I think they've got a couple of things coming soon.
yeah,
But,
you
yeah,
hit us
there's a
up.
fair few.
We'll hit you up if you want, if that's better for you. Like,
I
just,
have an email address.
I think that most of the PR and media contacts that were Madman that became Funimation are
Yeah.
now Crunchyroll.
Yep.
So it's really nice that there's a lot of people that got to keep their jobs and stay within
Yeah.
that as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
just moved up, because I guess, Crunchyroll is kind of like the big thing because it's the American thing. So for people here in Australia, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, okay, I'm moving up the anime ladder.
Yeah, but I mean, also as well, like let's be honest, all streaming services have had issues, but
Yeah.
Funimation has had more public issues than
Yeah.
others. I mean, Crunchyroll started out as a piracy site.
Yes, it
so,
did.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
High Seas origin story right there.
Yeah.
It's One Piece all over again.
Is that why its logo's orange?
No. What?
It's high in vitamin C. That one was a bit too much of a stretch.
Wait, its logo was based on a sushi roll originally.
Yeah.
No, I meant the color.
Yeah, no, it's still nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
You've killed Tifa. You've killed me. Like it's over.
This is the Aaron podcast now. Hello, welcome to the Bad Dad
All
Jokes.
right, we're leaving it there. No game, no life. Go check it out.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
Have you had enough controversy yet?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tifa's the one bringing all the
Oh, we
controversy
can
to
get
the
more
table.
controversial if you want to keep talking about No Game, No Life.
Back to No Game, No Life. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's not start with the controversy. Let's start with the ending of something incredible. Sailor Moon. It's getting 2 new films, and it's adapting the final arcs of the manga. Sailor Moon Cosmos, the movie, Part 1, Part 2, just like they did with Eternal. That's going to be coming out in 2023, and that is going to adapt the Shadow Galactica arc, which is going to bring to the end, I guess, what's the rebuild of Sailor Moon, if you will, that they've had since Crystal.
Do you guys know what the ending of Sailor Moon is? Like, have you read the manga?
I don't actually
I've got
know
volume
what
1
the
right there, and I
complete
haven't been able
ending
to
is.
find the rest.
The ending is heart-wrenching. You will cry.
Yeah?
Yes. I'm not going to give spoilers for obvious reasons, but...
I was going to say, because I remember the original anime had like a really heart-wrenching season 1 finale because everyone
Yeah.
forgot. And then they went and started it again because they weren't sure if it was coming back. And it's... Oh,
Well, the other thing is, there's a reason why people say Sailor Moon could easily body Goku.
yeah.
Like, you watch this, you will understand, like, Goku ain't anything.
Which Goku? Because he's had many years to power up since.
Every Goku.
Every Goku?
Every Goku.
Can she smash a moon into him?
Worse.
Oh no! I've just remembered because I read up on it.
Yeah.
Goku dead.
Yeah. Sailor Moon
Goku dead.
bodies Goku hands down. Like, all you anime fans out there who are like, oh, Goku can beat anyone. No. Sailor Moon bodies Goku without a second thought.
I saw a really good one on Anime Talk this week, and it's like, nah, Rogue can one punch ruin the entire universe of anything.
Rogue is an X-Men Rogue?
X-Men Rogue.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, steal their power, they're then weakened, use their own power on them, dead.
Yeah.
Done. Every single time. Saitama in particular, they're just like, he's so, like, he's got no hair. He's got nothing preventing being touched.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, back on topic. Sailor Moon Cosmos. Now, this is expected to land, I think it was Q3, early summer 2023. So that's Northern American summer. So that's July, August next year. It's going to be both films pretty quickly, one after the other.
Okay.
Like they did with Eternal, because I think it was in that, 4 weeks between
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, that was because of COVID.
Yeah.
But they say both films will open in Japan in early summer 2023. And if it's early summer, well, midsummer's like halfway through, so that's a month.
Can we do a Sailor Moon movie marathon with that then? Like, just go to the cinema and just
Yeah.
bam both?
Ooh. I mean,
I'd be down for
I'll
that,
be
man.
down for it.
Like, you just take like a 20-minute toilet break in the middle.
Yeah.
20 minutes also gives you time to stretch your legs, get snacks, drinks, and
Half an hour.
half an hour, yeah.
Half an hour, because you need to get everyone out. So 10 minutes to get everyone out, 10 minutes for
Clean the
food,
cinema.
Clean the cinema.
Yeah,
get
that's
back in.
true.
Because I did the so May the 4th they do Star Wars
Yeah.
marathons, and I did the
Which is
original-
coming up.
Oh, it is too.
It is too.
I
That's
did
next week.
Oh, it is.
Star
Wars anime episode? No. But they did go, okay, you're in there, and then they have a half-hour gap between the films, and I did like the original trilogy back to back to back. And they had a good gap. They came in, they cleaned up, they went around, they had entertainment in between. Like, Madman, get on it. Make it an event. Like, charge $50, you get to see both films, and it includes a bucket of popcorn. You'd be...
With little wings on it.
That'd be so cute.
Or the tiara around it. Like, yeah.
Can you imagine if you got a drink bottle which
Yeah.
then is attached to the scepter?
Yeah, that would be
That's
cute.
a bit... How would you put that in the drink holder?
No, it pops off it.
Oh,
and
it pops
drops
off.
back in, yeah.
And then you just beat the other...
The person in front of you is chewing too loudly. Doof.
By the power of the moon. Shut up!
Now, this was announced this week because it was a special program commemorating the 30th anniversary of Sailor Moon. So there's a lot that's going to be coming out in the next few months to celebrate that 30th anniversary. There's apparently a lot of merchandise in particular that's going to be coming out. So if you're a
Nice.
big Sailor Moon fan, good time to be around. Good time to have money, work extra. Get that
Overtime.
money.
Got it.
Yeah, basically. Excuse me. On the dose of dying, Black Clover. No, I'm joking. Black Clover's manga has gone on hiatus. It's expected to be about 3 months. It's not because the author's sick, despite what you might have seen on Facebook. It's so they can prep for the final saga, the final arc. And the Tabata and the magazine editorial team made the decision so he can rest and prepare for it, because it's apparently just going to be like once this starts, he's going to be going for 2 years straight, pretty much
Ooh.
no holidays by the sounds of it. So it was announced in Weekly Shonen Jump 21st and 22nd combined issue, which is becoming a lot more common, the combo issues.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a publication issue over in Japan or what. I should probably look into that. But yeah, it's going to go on to hiatus next month, starting with this coming issue. So issue 23 of Weekly Shonen Jump. After that, there will be no Black Clover for 3 months. So we would expect to see it July, August.
Okay. See, hiatus always hurts me because I'm a fan of Hunter x Hunter.
I know.
Oh, no.
Like, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Like, just, I think the last chapter came out 2 years ago.
Man,
And that was one singular chapter.
I've
Yeah.
got one for you.
Uh-oh.
Shrine Maiden, Crazy Shrine Maidens. That has been on hiatus for 8 years now.
Oof.
Yep. They've never said it's ended. We did know that the creators, so the lady who was making it stopped making it because she had health problems. Her brother was going to take over, then he also had health problems. Nah. It's, I don't think we'll ever see the end of that saga.
Well, like, so what they're doing with Hunter x Hunter is he's actually teaching his wife, who's the creator of Sailor Moon, his art style and what the full story is, so that if something does happen to him, she can take over, which I think is really sweet.
I do
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Actually, on that note, Berserk, they've had the
Oh,
first
yes.
release of the two guys who are his assistants
Yeah.
since he passed over. I don't know if they've created new content or if it was just his final work, which they just needed to finish off, and then because there's still more content to do. But apparently, they have the roadmap to finish the story,
Yeah.
like exactly according to his words. So,
I think it depends on how the audience actually reacts
Responds?
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, responds
if-
to it when it comes out as
the
well.
latest volume blew
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
like huge.
Well, did you guys see that chapter they did about his life? and how it influenced them.
Yeah.
That hurt.
I
That hurts
know.
so much. Beautiful art.
Beautiful, hands down beautiful, but ooh, it broke my kokoro.
Brocoro, your kokoro?
Yeah.
Your heart?
Yeah.
No. My brain just went somewhere else completely for that. Now, we should move on to something else which is getting a sequel. And this is also going to Brocoro, your kokoro.
Oh, no.
New Shaman King. It is getting a sequel to the anime that's just finished. Frustrating.
Wait, the anime just finished?
Well, it's meant to be finished, isn't it?
Dude, the dubbing with it is so like the way Netflix is releasing it is so spotchy.
All
Like
right.
we've got
In
a lot of
Japan, it's finished.
okay.
In
'cause,
Japan, it's finished as
Yeah.
well.
the manga is getting released at the same time as the Netflix. So I've been getting the mangas as they've been coming out, and like I'm a little bit ahead of the anime right now. So I'm like, I know there's still a lot more to go. You need to come on.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. So Netflix anime ended with 52 episodes, and that's adapting the first 35 volumes. That apparently occurred in Japan on the 2nd of this month, 2nd of April.
Yeah, we won't be seeing it until September.
Yeah.
So the new Shaman King series is the sequel one, focusing on the son of Yo and Anna. That's a 7-year gap.
Yes, and I was looking at the art we posted on our media for it,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, that's that character, that's that. And then I got to the very end, I was like, who's that? And I sat there for a good 5 minutes. I was like, oh, it's Joker!
Oh, like...
Because like
I've got them
everyone...
side by side, so them there today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you got Lyzerg here, and then that's Joker. I didn't recognize him. He's this guy, because normally he's got a fro. And then like you've got all the other main characters
Well, we
there.
are missing a few of those characters. I'm assuming
He's a
someone-
villain.
Interesting.
He's old.
Oh, okay.
It's just
so
old.
Did anyone die?
Well, okay, so the thing with, I mean, maybe that's a possibility.
yeah.
But with Faust, his whole thing, I mean, like the name implies, Faust the Eighth, necromancy, he actually repairs his own body using old bones. His spirit medium is his dead girlfriend from like 300 years ago.
Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Well, maybe.
maybe. Well, look, it's expected to come out. Actually, I don't think they've given a date. They haven't. They've just said it's been greenlit, which normally means you're looking at about an 18 to 24 month window.
Yeah.
Now,
So
considering...
we're looking at 18 to 24 months beyond that.
Yeah.
Come on, Netflix, pull your pants up. Like, if fan subbers can do it, pay them.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Like
Do
that's actually, in all seriousness, because I know that we've got friends who know people who work for Netflix Anime. If you're listening, please start looking at recruiting as freelancers the fan sub community, because they will do it.
Well, would you like to hear a little fun fact?
Yeah.
The Japanese Netflix gets the English dub before we do.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, and the English sub as well.
You kidding?
No, I'm dead
They
serious.
have people there in the Japanese Netflix that actually do it themselves
Yeah.
as well. So certain series do have it themselves, and you know, Netflix Australia specifically gets it like pretty much last,
later. Yeah.
compared to.
So
like,
if you
America
go
and stuff.
with, I don't know, a nondescript VPN company, because we're not sponsored at the moment,
VPN.
you could just go to the Japanese Netflix and watch it there with either the dub or the sub, because hey, they've got it. Why don't we have it?
Are you seriously saying, like, right now?
Yes.
In Japan.
Yes.
You could watch all of it dubbed in English. but
I don't
you-
know all of it dubbed, but
more than what you can hear.
we've got.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is the worst. Wow, worst distribution strategy I've ever heard of, because that encourages piracy.
Yes.
yes,
And that's not a good thing.
No.
yeah,
But hey, we're not marketing employees. We don't work at Netflix. What would we know?
No, not at all. No, we're just used to seeing everyone pirate everything over the past 20
Yeah.
years in Australia, because it was locked behind a paywall and not everyone could afford to buy. How much was it for what's it called? The cable TV.
Foxtel?
Foxtel.
A lot.
It was like minimum $50 a
yeah.
month.
It was,
And that was for like 3 channels.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
even have the channels you wanted.
No.
So, like, of course people are going to pirate it if you make it difficult to access.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
the thing is, streaming mediums were introduced to kill off Foxtel and other cables.
yeah.
And that's because you had to buy packages and you had to buy so many of them. And now that's what's happening with streaming. And it's like,
Yeah.
you didn't learn from history, did you?
No, they didn't. They didn't. But learning from history, let's talk about G-Kids. Because G-Kids, who you might know that name for the dubs and international releases of many big films, including Studio Ghibli. G-Kids have announced this week that it acquired the North American rights for Gainax's sci-fi adventure anime Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, which is basically where Lost got their entire story from.
I was going to say, Nadia, isn't that like a really old one?
Well, if we're to believe the story, it was created in 1889. No, that's when the story's set.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not that.
No. Well, Tezuka hadn't happened at that point, so yeah. No, this came out in 1990 in Japan. So this predates Neon Genesis. And this was one of Gainax's kind of early works when the studio first got set up.
Does it have the bounce?
Yeah, dude.
It's Gainax.
The guys have the Gainax bounce in this.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Well, you look, that sounds a lot more misleading than it is. They have deep diving suits, so the suits dive and bounce like the Gainax bounce. Yeah. Cool. But look,
I thought that their money don't jiggle, it folds.
God. Moving right along, this is going to be released on home video in a full 4K restoration of the original animation cells. I'm impressed that they even have them. Like,
yeah, that's...
Well, you know how many random animation cells I've picked up over the years. I've got ones from Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, how did this not get locked down somewhere? Like,
or sold.
Well,
sometimes apparently some of the people that work on the studios, they'll just take some home because they
That's
just,
exactly what happens at Gainax in particular. That's why there is a lot of Neon Genesis ones out there.
Yoink.
Now, the staff who were behind this was Hideaki Anno, who was the director, Neon Genesis. Character designer was the guy who ended up doing Summer Wars, Sadamoto Yoshiyuki, and Evangelion and Royal Space Force. Sound director, I actually don't know, Shimizu Katsunori, sorry. That says Tegami Bachi, Letter B, and Fushigi Yugi.
Fushigi Yugi!
You know that?
Yes! Oh my god, that's an old one. I remember that from the high school.
And there's also a magical shopping arcade, Benobashi. I wonder if that was just like an animated version of, like, do you remember like how you'd have like the shopping TV shows, like go in and spend exactly this much money, go.
I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember anything about
really
it.
Familiar, actually.
It does. Hey, I'm just gonna find it now. Oh, well, really? Okay, that's not the banner I was expecting for Magical Shopping Arcade Abenobashi, but
Oh, hello.
with generous doses of that Gainax bounce.
That's what's that?
It actually does look familiar, though. I'm not
It
gonna lie
does,
to
doesn't
you.
it?
It's got a kind of read or die vibe.
It does. Parallel worlds, parody, adventure comedy, and coming of age story. Only 13 episodes, came out in 2002.
Huh. So would it be like a restaurant from another world kind of thing? Where like you're going through a magical arcade and it's like different worlds or different shops and like you go in there and you're like, oh, hey, this.
Okay. Actually, this sounds really good. It makes me want to watch it.
Let's go. I guess what next episode's about.
So, Imiyami Satoshi, or Sashi as his friends call him, has grown up in Abenobashi Shopping Arcade in Osaka along with childhood friend Asahina Arumi Asahina. Now, all that was stable in his life is in ruins. His family bathhouse is closed and been torn down, and Arumi's family is moving to Hokkaido and taking her with them. In the midst of all this, something happens to the framework of reality, and Sashi and Arumi slip into a weird parallel world. It's still Abenobashi, but it's not their Abenobashi. Strange things are afoot, and Sashi must figure out what these all mean in order to reach a goal that he barely understands. That sounds dope.
That does sound fun.
I'm putting that on the list.
Can you just send that to the...
Yeah, I'll send it to the Kawaii-Fi chat. But that's completely neither here nor there. Nadia Secret of Blue Water, also by Gainax. Worth checking out, especially when it gets this 4K release. I'm hoping that because of it having that history behind it, that we will see it getting on somewhere like High Dive or... I mean, I know G-Kids are doing it, and G-Kids do tend to organise like Netflix as well.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up with all of the Ghibli stuff. So fingers crossed, because that would be really beautiful, and it's such a beautiful story. There's a reason that it's so well known. Right, now, actually, on the note of Netflix, fantastic on the segues today. Netflix has signed a 3-film deal with Studio Colorido. Not Colorado, Colorido. these are the folks who did A Whisker Away, the Pokemon Twilight Wings short form series, Penguin Highway, and Burn the Witch as of recent memory. They've done more than that, but yeah.
Burn the Witch was amazing.
It was so
I loved it.
Do you know the story about that? Like,
Which particular
so
story?
The ending of it, it said to be continued, right?
Yes, yeah.
Kito Kubotite does not want to continue it. It was a one shot.
Yeah.
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 And so the editor put that in. He's like, guys, the hell is this?
But it's also they're not going to do a second season of the anime either.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it's also supposed to be connected to Bleach.
Yes,
so
it's
that's
the
why
Western
people
version.
think that as well, because it says to be continued and because there's a new Bleach
coming
arc
back.
coming out,
Yeah.
that it would get people to watch.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Because in it, you know how the dragon smashes down the sign? It actually says Soul Society on it.
Yes.
So that's what links the two.
Yeah.
It's like
Are
the
we
Soul
gonna have to
Leader,
do an
Fire
episode on
Force.
this? 'Cause
Please,
we never
please,
actually,
please.
You want to do a Burn the Witch episode?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because
I'm genuinely down.
We watched it and we never got around to bringing it up because at the time we then had 6 big films all come through. Promare came out close to it as well.
Yeah. Oh, Promare was so
Promare
good.
was phenomenal. But yes, Studio Colorido and Netflix have announced a multi-year movie co-production deal to feature 3 new feature-length films. The second of the 3 films is a new film by Shibayama Tomotaka, who did A Whisker Away, and is going to debut in 2024 exclusively on Netflix. They haven't revealed the title of the film or the third film. The only thing they've unveiled is an image board, which looks like 2 people playing and running around in the snow with footsteps surrounding them.
Oh, that's cute.
It looks really cute.
It's very cute.
That's the only thing we know. Now, we do know that this is part of Netflix's newly established anime creators base, which is meant to help, foster those new developed ideas and conceptualize the art before it gets made and brought to them, because they have seen that some of their in-house stuff hasn't been particularly well received. Understandable. You've got to learn. You've got to learn to walk before you can run, and they jumped in a car.
Yeah.
So they have noted, Shibayama noted in a comment that the new film will be a slightly mysterious love story set during one winter. And that's all we've got, which I think sounds beautiful. An unusual disruption of the everyday and will depict the delicate emotional coming of age of the characters as an ode to boys and girls. Now, they've also previously announced Drifting Home, the anime film, as the first film deal in that, and that's going to debut on the 16th of September. Drifting Home looks... Honestly, you look at the artwork for it and you think, wow, this could have been Makoto Shinkai. It's all colours and rain and water elements. It's just... here you go.
Oh.
See what I mean? It's 100% looks like a Shinkai film, even though it's not. Comix Films, get on that lawsuit. No.
We were talking about Tracer earlier.
But it looks really gorgeous, that as well. So that's September. So we'll definitely try and do a September. The house might be finished. We could have a viewing party.
September is getting surprisingly closer and closer.
It is. It's kind of scary.
By the episode comes out, it'll be May, but it's almost May now.
He went there.
No, I didn't do that on purpose. But yes, also that. Ramen hair.
But yeah, no, you are right. We are flying through this year. I cannot believe April's I can believe April's flew by because Hoshicon has kept me so busy in the lead up.
You've been crushed, man.
I have. But I now just have one job to worry about instead of juggling 3, which is good. So yeah, maybe more content.
Maybe.
That'd be really good. But yeah, I'm umming a lot.
Oh, can I add some news of my own that I have to share?
May.
So it's our lovely host Kyle's birthday
no.
recently, so suck on that. Woo! Happy birthday, Kyle.
Wrong button.
35 years this brilliant man's been on this earth and he's made it a much better place. Thank you for just being you and having us, and you're amazing.
You are my children. I had you. I just stated you and passed you through something.
When you were 3?
When I was 3.
Dude, kudos to you.
No, I looked at it, I went 35. Oh, God, I've almost been out of school as long as I was in. Yep. Yep.
I am so close behind you.
No, we keep making the joke that in a couple of years I'll have to change the YouTube channel to be Anime Grandpa. And it's like, the thing is though, I've gotten very lucky. I haven't lost any of my hair and I haven't gone white yet.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
that's
lucky
true.
for that, are you? Is that a bad thing, is it?
I'm just saying,
Uh-oh.
I got a good luck of the draw. You have a chrome dome and it powers the machine of love that is Aaron.
I mean, it also makes for a good Krillin cosplay.
It makes an incredible Krillin cosplay. Oh my God, because you've got a good Krillin cosplay.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a good Krillin cosplay, but I've got a Krillin cosplay, yes.
I should do Yamcha.
And we can just like lay down together. I mean, I've got a sensu bean pouch and I fill it with green jelly beans.
You can throw them
I
at
can
me,
just
like,
keep pelting them at you.
Get up, Yamcha! Anyway, way off topic. I'm old. Hooray.
Yay.
I don't look it. Hooray.
Yay.
I feel it. Not so hooray. Anyway, and with that note, we do need to wrap up.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Well, that is where we're going to leave things for this episode. Reminding everyone that we're old. Thanks for listening. Don't know why you do. No, I kid. So next time, maybe. Big maybe. Maybe. Tiger and Bunny.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. We have watched it now.
Yes,
and
but-
all the team have watched it.
Unfortunately, I won't be around for the next 2 episodes.
No.
So,
Mate, well, look. Truth be told, maybe we can move it to another day for those weeks, considering that this is because we're recording this particular day, Kira Lee hasn't been able to attend because of her roster.
yeah, true.
So we could have a look at that and see what we can do. And then we can actually do Tiger and Bunny. Go figure. Now, if you have watched it, it's great. Watch it now. It's all on Netflix. Season 2's on there as well. Film's on Netflix too, isn't it?
Yes. So if you want to watch it in order, watch the beginning film, then watch the series, then watch the Rising, then watch season 2.
And it's epic. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's very buddy cop. That's exactly the
Yeah,
phrase
it
That
is.
is exactly it. Yeah.
But now a couple of things we've got to wrap up. HoshiCon Aftermath, as I call it. We had our subscriber drive. We had a lot of people sign up and not subscribe, so they're not in the draw because that's what it says to do.
Oops.
You know, if you... and
Points for trying?
Well, if they're not subscribed, they're not going to see the video anyway, telling them they won, so it'll be a waste.
Very true.
We did get to see a lot of you wonderful people at HoshiCon, and you made us feel very welcome and very valued. The whole team was working the event, so we do apologise if we all seemed a little bit scatterbrained because it was hectic. And then we got to meet the wonderful Tifa and drag her into the studio to have a chat, which is great as well. We might drag you back again and again and again.
If you'd like to join us, that is.
join in.
We're not going to hold you prisoner. Kyle, handcuffs away.
I've got a box. You're about the size of Nezuko, right?
I mean...
I guess.
No, it's not going to work. Now, we do have a HoshiCon video in the works that should be out by the time this podcast episode is out. It's taken a lot of editing, and I've liaised with a lot of wonderful people, including the girls from Palettes, to get a video from some of their performance, from a couple of from HK Photography. Big props to them. They were our photographers for the whole weekend, and they've got some beautiful images of your cosplayers out there. So go check them out on social media. Links will be in the description.
But also, Tifa's released her own videos about HoshiCon.
2 of them,
Yeah.
2 vlogs.
You did.
Yeah.
What's your YouTube channel called?
It is BT Kennedy, so THET and then Kennedy.
Go give her a subscribe as well. She's wonderful, and we're very lucky to have had her on today and
thanks.
to hang out with her. There is also the big yellow video that has been haunting me for like 2 months.
I've got people asking me like, Aaron, when's it coming out? We need to watch it. We want to see it. Like, it sounds like it was so much fun.
This video was done before we sold our house. And it's been so busy that I haven't had time to edit it. And every time I've sat down and edited it, I've done a big chunk of it and then had something massive come up for work or for HoshiCon or for something else that needed immediate attention. that will be next. So
We're not going to
Washington video-
cyberpunk it. We're not going to rush it and give you a half-finished product. We're
No.
going to get this done. We're going to meme it up. We're
I was
going
gonna say,
to...
it is going to be chock full of memes. It'll be your daily meme intake if you watch this video.
You won't be able to look at the internet for like a good 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, it's going to be bad in a good way. But let's just say it's a new segment we're trying called Kawaii-Tries, and there will be more of them once the new house and studio are complete, because I'll have a kitchen I can film in.
Don't sue us, Try Guys.
Try, we've got no money. It'll cost them enough to get over here, and they'll just be like, oh, we can't actually get, we'll go home. And I've heard the Try Guys are pretty nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, check out Tifa on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube. She's everywhere and awesome. And if you have enjoyed what you've heard, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Join us for future episodes, especially if you're on YouTube. We're really trying to hit that 1,000 milestone. We're a quarter of the way there.
Whoa.
So hit that like button too, and let us know your thoughts in the comments section as well. If you are a fan of No Game No Life, let us know how you've dealt with the situation. Like, was it banned in your country? Are you an Aussie like us? You've had restrictions where you can't watch it? Let us know, because it's interesting to hear everyone's different perspective on it.
Defend your honor.
Fight for your right to anime. I don't know why I went there.
Because remember, at the end of the day, if you got no game, you got no life.
Oh, I know, right? Now, if you would like to support the channel, we do have a Patreon. We share extra content like episode outtakes, video extras, and show updates. We also have the pre-show where we talk a lot of trash. We talked about violent plants this week.
Yes.
And my cousin not being very smart in his planning with the use of said violent plant. Not in a bad way. He was having a good laugh. He thought I think he just thought he could just keep going and going until I said stop. And I didn't say stop. So
the idea snowballed into a very bad place.
Which would never actually work, so there you go. And obviously, if you do like what we're doing, join the Kawaii-Fi community. We've got on all the social media channels with memes and videos and news, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, all the good stuff. And with that, you've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time,
watch some anime!
I should have probably briefed you on that, Tifa. I'm really bad.
I very briefly did.
Should we try again? Until next time,
watch some anime!